Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday the 7th of August. My name's Mike Oldman and you're listening to Things We Play. As always, I'm joined once again by the man in black, or he used to be a man in black. He's sort of a man that occasionally wears a bright colour. Not pink, mind. Never wear pink. Shaun Hart.
How you doing?
I'm doing alright. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I was wearing a red t-shirt yesterday.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah. Red's as close to pink as you can get.
I can get personally, yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe true. Of course, though, it's not just me and you, Shaun.
Is it not?
That's Things We Play, isn't it? We're joined by a third guest, and maybe the third guest would like to introduce themselves. Oh, that didn't seem to work quite as well. Cheryl.
No, still not there.
Little Miss Death 360. Anybody? It seems as though there seems to be some sort of technical difficulty with Cheryl in the fact that she has failed to appear in the building for the podcast. She didn't really give us a reason, did she?
Something's come up.
Something has come up.
Was the technical term.
Yeah. So you're a man down, but it's okay. We've mic'd up the chair that Cheryl would normally use, and we'll be going back to her throughout the show for some up to the minute gaming updates. See what she's been playing. I'm curious to know. See how that UFC training's going. Obviously, very well. All right, but that's okay. We're not going to let that stop us. We've got a pretty cool show, I think, planned for today. We've played some games. I don't know what episode is it. 7?
7.
Lucky number 7. That's what they say in the numbers world.
3 and 8 are also considered lucky.
Are they?
3's the magic number.
Yeah, I don't know if that's lucky.
Chinese.
Magic's not always lucky. No. But that dude, what was that dude from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? Eric was the coward, wasn't he? He was the cavalier. Who was the sorcerer dude?
I don't know his name.
He was not lucky, is my point.
What was 3 got to do with him?
Because he was magic number.
Oh,
he was magic. But he'd be like, I'll just pull out a sword for battle, and he'd pull out a steam.
There was one single episode in D&D where he was fucking awesome, and he just like everything he did was on point. He was like casting lightning bolts and stuff. But
it's crazy. It's crazy. It goes against his character. As far
Speaking of old school cartoons, I've actually watched 3 episodes of the new Thundercats.
Yeah, you said you were gonna. You said you were downloading this legally.
Yeah, right.
Of course. What's it like?
Not bad.
It's the manga stuff. Isn't it?
It's done in pseudo kind of manga style. I wouldn't go as far as to say the animation quality is anywhere near that.
Oh, really?
No, it's kind of got the style of that. It's bizarre. I don't know if it's set in Thundercats' history in comparison to the 80s cartoon or their future or an alternative reality. But it does kind of reset everything.
Have they changed anyone dramatically?
Really? Lionel he's like young. He's like a teenage. Teenager.
And that's maybe cool because he was a bit like a BG in the 80s.
In the 80s he was frozen in stasis when they were looking. He was frozen in stasis, weren't they? They were all frozen. Shut the fuck up. They were frozen in stasis in the first episode when they escape from Thundera. He's frozen in stasis with all the other Thundercats, but his pod malfunctions. So when he goes in, he's a kid. When he comes out, he's an adult with a kid's mind.
What? Is that the deal with? Is that seriously the deal with Lion?
That was like the first episode. I remember them advertising that on BBC One. I was like, boom, got to watch Thundercats. I don't know, I was like 8 or something.
That's nuts. But I'll tell you, everyone else, the Panther is still in it. It's still cool.
I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
All right, fair enough. I'll maybe check it out at some point. So they're doing a movie as well, aren't they?
I think it's been canned. Yeah, there was kind of like leaked CGI heads and stuff, weren't there? But nothing's ever come to fruition.
And still Thundercats.
Hope.
That's still there.
Yeah.
New theme tune, I take it.
No, it's kind of
I don't know what
deviant.
the theme tune was.
It was. You're not gonna really fucking sing it, are you? Thundercats are on the loose. Thundercats are loose. Yeah, that one. Enough of that.
Thundercats were sweet. I do hope we don't start seeing more sort of fat kids in Thundercat t-shirts. Thundercats t-shirts, Thundercats belt buckles. They're the same as Transformers t-shirts and belt buckles. I don't want to see that.
Good, Decepticon one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right.
It looks cool on me, though. I'd like to put it out.
All right, well that's cool. That's Thundercats. I don't know what's happened this week. It's been a busy week. I haven't played too many games. I haven't played as many games as I set out to play. in the last episode, we said we were going to play a bunch of games this episode, and I think we've played them.
Possibly.
But I'm not entirely sure. It's been a busy week with a fair amount of drinking.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Not so much drinking for me. I've been playing games.
And in fairness, there's not been a lot of new games out.
No.
So we're almost playing catch up, really. But nevertheless, we have played some games. I don't know, how do we kick this off? What games have you been playing? There's some games we've both been playing. So we should probably start with those. And top of my list at the moment is Cars 2.
Cars 2.
Which, that game, it's curveball.
Yeah.
So Cars the least favourite Pixar property.
Yeah. It did get slagged, the first one, didn't it?
Yeah, and remarkably still got a sequel. And apparently the sequel, movie-wise, is dreadful.
Right. Rather than them doing kind of like The Incredibles 2 or something that everyone wants to see.
Yeah. Push Monsters 2 up or something like that. But, so Cars 2, apparently the movie's terrible. Game's phenomenal.
It's... phenomenal's an overstatement. For what you're expecting, I would say it is pretty badass.
I mean, I bought it. That's the difference. I never thought I'd be buying a Cars game. So the difference with Cars 2 then is it all goes secret agent stuff. I mean, God knows what the movie's like. It all goes secret agent stuff. They're like working. They've got machine guns, basically.
Yeah.
It starts off. You've got this amazing little CG, this cute little kids movie, cars with faces, CGI thing, and it's all going well. And then all of a sudden they bust out machine guns from the side of the cars, start gunning down other cars.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Is that what kids want? I don't know. Whatever. It's quite cool. It means the game now is it's a racing game. It's almost racing combat, I suppose.
I mean, it's kind of Burnout with Wipeout's weapons.
Is it, or is it Mario Kart with
No.
Twisted Metal's weapons?
It could be, but I wouldn't really put it in the same sort of category as Mario Kart. I think a lot of comparisons are made because it's a kid's game, but the mechanics of it, I'd say, are closer to Burnout or Split Second Velocity.
Yeah, actually, that's true. So in Split Second in particular, you've got the way your boost meter comes up. It's the same sort of thing. You earn it from drifting or killing other characters or whatever, and it goes up in stages, doesn't it? And around the hubs, around the car, like in Split Second. And then you can use that in tight bursts. And you've got classic weapon stuff, rockets and shields and whatever.
Is there shields? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's shields.
I don't think there's shields.
There's got to be shields.
I don't remember there being any shields.
And you can jump.
Yeah. You've got the kind of stunts as well to boost.
Yeah, and some of those are really cool, isn't it? There's the one where you can flip around in the air behind you, spin around and take out the guy behind you, and then carry on going and land your wheels.
As well as the kind of 007 two-wheel trick as well. You can flip the car.
In fact, what I really like is when because you can flip around behind you at any time anyway, individually.
Drive in reverse,
and it reverses the controls.
Yeah, it
which
does,
is it's just it's a kid's game that's seemingly been developed. It's Avalanche Software that did it, which have done a load of Disney stuff. But it looks like it's clearly been developed for parents of kids. Yeah. You're going to be playing this game, so we better make it
enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah.
Basically.
But it's slick. It's well slick. So you get to choose from pretty much any of the Cars characters, and there's loads of characters.
There is.
They are all the same.
Identical.
I mean, they look different, obviously, but they are
basically skins of one car.
They are the same. But they're all fully voiced and fully animated, even though the front of the car you very rarely see during game. They're making faces and talking and making quips and stuff. It's nice. It's as polished as the movie, and it looks good.
To be fair, I enjoyed it a lot more with no sound.
With no sound, right? Maybe that is something that is aimed more directly at the kids than say the average player.
I don't know what the options have. You might be able to turn the kind of game volume right down and then play Chili Peppers off your hard drive or something.
That may be true.
It might be a lot more enjoyable.
I didn't notice if it was the official voices, but it sure sounded like it.
More than likely. I mean, it's kind of standard play for any tie-ins these days, isn't it? To have.
I guess, yeah. I'm Captain America, Chris Evans and stuff. Yeah. And who is it? It's Owen Wilson and Michael Caine and stuff.
I have no idea who's in the film.
I'm just
not done any research at all.
Dolph Lundgren and
Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Arnold
Schwarzenegger,
Lou Diamond Phillips,
Jet Li.
all the classics, brilliant. That chap from long back.
Tony Jaa.
Tony Jaa, that's the one. Fuck, I should have got that right.
Kickboxing phenomenon.
That's terrible.
Thai boxing phenomenon.
So Cars 2 is quite good. I mean, it's standard racing stuff in it. So you are racing and taking down independent.
I mean, to be
guys.
fair, there's a ton of modes as you play through the grades of Secret Agent class or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. What are they called? It's got a stupid name and like clutch or something for like the cervical. I don't know. No, probably not.
You found them out,
exactly.
To be clutch. Yeah,
it might not be clutch.
Epic fail. But whatever it is, as you play through, obviously you've got kind of level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, up to level 6. I do believe I didn't get that far. I got to about level 4.
All right.
And then as you're playing through that, each level unlocks a new mode or two of gameplay. So you have survival mode where you've got to collect the batteries to keep the little mind-bending car who's in a helicopter with a Gatling gun who's draining your life force. So you collect the batteries, that tops you up. You've got to get around the track 3 times is the goal to get gold.
Right.
Then you've kind of got deathmatch mode where you've got a battle arena and you've just got to take
and that
out...
is more sort of like Twisted Metal sort of style stuff,
definitely.
But with bright colours.
Where you've got to take out as many cars as you can within a lot of time, which happens in 5 waves and stuff. Okay. To be fair, I didn't play any of it online. I'm not jumping. The battle arena stuff would be a lot better online than it is offline because the cars kind of just drive into walls and don't do much. But yeah, it's good. It's an enjoyable game. It's one for the family.
It's not bad. Do you know what I mean? I'd recommend it to people, and that is like we said, it's a freaking surprise. Cheryl, what do you reckon?
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yes, that's
helpful.
That's cool.
Informative.
And
as funny.
Always, funny, and a bit risky, I think, but that's fine. We're pushing boundaries here at things we play. So we'll be coming back to you later for some more hot opinion, I think. Car's all right. I need to go back to it and play a little bit more, but I will. It's a keeper.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. All right, moving on from Cars then. From Dust.
From Dust.
We did a bit of From Dust. It was the next, after Bastion, it was the next...
Summer of Arcade.
Yeah, the XBLA Summer of Arcade game. Eric Chahi of Another World fame, as you know, we've spoken about before, I think he's a genius. In fact, actually, this game makes me think he's even more of a genius. It makes me think he's kind of, and forgive me, but he's kind of the new Peter Molyneux. That's what I'm getting from it.
So he's steadily going to deteriorate into complete madness.
In a couple of years' time, he'll be like, what if the game was a chair and you played as the legs, but the legs were wonky? What about that? You know, what if the legs had a friend and the friend was a dog, and the dog died? What about that? But you played the disease that killed him. That sort of shit. And then none of that happens.
Yeah.
It's just an on-rails shooter. But anyway, From Dust, we digress. From Dust, I don't know how do we explain From Dust? It's a god game.
Yeah.
You're looking after...
You're more like a spirit.
Yeah, you're kind of... What are you? You're kind of like the belief system of
a tribe.
A tribe of dudes. And through that, the way you've got like almost like a Just Cause island, a small Just Cause island or something, an island at sea.
Yeah.
And through your powers, you can pick up sand and water, that's it. And you deposit sand over the water to make little bridges, to make little tribesmen get to a couple of idols to set up a village, and then it opens a doorway, lemming style, and they can go through that and you'll get them there. That's pretty much it. It's like basis. It's
very, very, very basic form,
but, and this is where I have an issue with it, it changes quite a lot. I quite like that. That was quite cool. In fact, what I wanted is like, it's a sandbox game, but just give me the sandbox. You know, I kind of want a bucket and spade, and that would be it. I mean, it'd be pointless.
Again, I mean, I don't really want to spoil things for people, but you do get to have...
what you saying?
Your sandbox
You
moment.
Are spoiling it.
Yeah.
There is a sandbox
It's just fuck you, big fuck you. You do get to have your sandbox moment, and it's not as interesting and fun as you think it would be. Yeah, it's kind of like, this is fucking boring as fuck.
It's like, why am I doing this? But it's got awesome physics in it. The war physics is cool. I mean, the physics and everything's cool, but I love the war physics in particular when you're sort of, you can build a bridge over a bit of water to get the guys across, or you can just go, I'm going to shift the way that whole stream goes and bend it round where I need it to go, and then it's that I love doing. But the sand you put down doesn't stay there. The world's sort of constantly changing. It gets washed away and is affected by stuff. So you can make a perfect ramp and then come back to it and it's fucked.
Earth as it is as opposed to sand, because obviously shit grows out of it.
That's true. Yeah.
It is Earth. That doesn't, it's not solid. it is constantly shifting. So when you get kind of tidal waves and stuff, it will corrode the earth quite a lot.
Yeah. And you do get tidal waves.
You do.
This is so. I mean, in terms of sort of gameplay mechanics, as they they change quite dramatically as it goes along. It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Constantly, and I think that sort of the first change is you've got this impending tidal wave. You've got a ticking clock of like 2.5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And in 2.5 minutes time, a tidal wave is going to come and it's going to devastate everything. So you've got, I think, in that particular one, you've got to get one of your little
tribesmen,
endangered tribesmen, to a relic to learn a spell essentially, so he can repel. I think it's called repel water or something. And you get him back and do it, and you do that in 2.5 minutes, and then the tidal wave comes, and you get to see the tidal wave. That's what I love about it. The tidal wave looks awesome. It's all in real time in the engine. You're like, that is one hell of a wave.
Yeah, it is massive.
And then providing your little dudes get back there, they pull out the little trumpets and all like wah 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 wah. And
didgeridoos,
yeah, exactly. Not so much, old school trumpets. One note, but what a hell of a note. And then almost like a bubble, I guess, appears, or an invisible bubble around.
To a degree, yeah. It just
thing,
kind of,
and the tidal wave just passes around.
Yeah, travels around.
It looks pretty swish. So I thought that was cool. And then you obviously get them home. But then it changes stuff. So actually before that, there's sort of a separate meta game in it as well, isn't there? Where when you create enough landmass around water, trees grow up and stuff around.
Well, initially it spreads out from your village.
Right, yeah.
And it's specifically the kind of desert level that you need to introduce water to it to spread the the grass.
But you get there's other, they're not achievements, but there's other objectives in the game where you can get, I don't know, over 75% of the map is covered in trees or whatever. But anyway, so the way things change then, the next step after the tsunami thing is you get the powers as your little dudes are running around uncovering these totem poles. That look like meerkats.
Yeah.
Ella
did kind of go, meerkat.
Right, there you go. They earn powers, and you can do things like gellify water.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It is quite a cool effect. I don't know how actually useful it is.
Well, you get to you
get to do the Moses thing.
Exactly. You hit it, it turns basically the water into jelly, and then you can scoop out whole sections. And then dudes little walk through it.
I think the problem I had at the time was I constantly played everything in worldview.
Right. So actually, and we'll get onto that as well, because camera views it's not all song and dancing with From Dust. So jellification is pretty cool. It lasts for a minute, I think, and then it all goes back. So you get some cool moments where you're getting 16 guys through a long channel of water, and you're like, is it gonna just flood them back? You can also evaporate water.
Yes.
Which just gets rid of it. Is that it? Is there more stuff later? That's all I've seen. I'm about.
There's quite a few powers. I can't remember off the top of my head. There is Gillify Water, but they vary from level to level, so you get new powers come in as well.
Oh, okay.
It's because I was playing at the beginning of the week.
You've forgotten about it. It's point playing again.
But they serve a lot of different purposes and can be used in kind of crazy, unique ways. There's increased breath, so you can pick up twice the amount of mass.
Oh, right, okay.
As well.
It looks cool as well, because you pick it up in a big fucking spherical ball and stuff. You kind of roll it around and roll up the sand. That's kind of nice. But you can also, actually going on from the powers then, you later on pick up things like lava.
Yes.
From volcanoes and stuff, which you then drop in water.
Lava is probably my favourite element to be messing around with. It is dangerous.
It gave me the most horrific moment in gaming of this year. Bear in mind, this year Dead Space 2 came out, right? And I had that bit where the dude gets stabbed in the eye when you do it wrong by a freaking needle, and that ain't nice. But this was the most horrific thing ever, where at one level I had to use lava for something, and I just built this village, and I'd spent ages getting these dudes to this village, and I wanted to think I didn't care about them, but there was enough time had been invested in it, and I'm just putting my lava down to build a wall to protect them from another tsunami that's coming. Stupid places to locate your village, as far as I'm concerned. And I just accidentally dropped, because when you drop the lava not in the sea, it doesn't immediately turn to rock. It kind of melts over stuff and then turns to rock. And it just clipped one of my trees, and the tree burst straight into flames and immediately spread faster than you could ever imagine amongst everything. And your whole island's going up in flames. And you can just hear dudes screaming and screaming. And it's like, man, that I did that, and that was entirely my fault. I shouldn't have done it. I dropped the ball for a second, and now everyone is dead. And you get to watch it happen, and you're quickly picking up water and splashing it over stuff. And it's like, this ain't happening, this ain't working. That got me. That I genuinely felt terrible for that.
So you should. All those poor little souls.
So fire, yeah, it's got Far Cry fire, but dangerous.
It does. It can spread quite quick. Yeah. And you do have to be well strategic when tackling fires with your water.
Yeah, that's true.
You
just
kind of
need to cut stuff off, don't you?
On a point where it spreads outwards.
Exactly. And you can be sort of reasonably clever with where you design your, like what later on in maps, what I was doing, because again, fire comes into it massively.
You get like erupting volcanoes.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot.
So I ended up building my villages, but cutting them off a little bit. Yeah. So the trees, we weren't connecting trees, so it wasn't going to spread in case something caught fire. Because that's pretty painful. But we mentioned the camera angles.
Yeah.
In fact, the controls in general are a bit jank. It's got two camera angles.
Yeah, it might have been a bit more productive and user friendly if it had more than the kind of long view
I suppose it's
and relatively close view.
Yeah, and like one's not close enough.
Yeah,
and the other one's too far away to do anything.
Yeah.
And the camera seems to move in like increments. It's not like totally free camera. You kind of square around. I don't know. I can never quite get to see where I want. It's quite difficult when you're trying to place.
It's the tilt specifically that's the problem.
Yeah, actually, that's it, because it suddenly flips onto its axis, different one. But it's when you're trying to specifically drop some sand in a key place because you haven't got much and it does wash away. That drives me insane. And you're just feathering the button constantly to try and drop little bits. And you're like, is that working? Is it all washing away? Do I just dump the whole lot in one go?
It's kind of when your little villagers come to a rocky terrain and you're like, you can climb up there. It's fine. Yeah. And they just go, help.
So actually, there is one more camera angle, isn't there? You can zoom in on an individual.
Yeah, if you hold the left bumper.
And it always says the same thing about each one. This woman can play music and build
this woman can learn stuff, play music, and build terrace.
That's it. Like, well, congratulations.
Why even bother putting that?
What a trooper! What a trooper she is. And it's a pointless camera angle, and you can't do anything. But actually, the little blighters that you're trying to save, their pathfinding is freaking nightmarish, isn't it? So it gives you a projected line of where they're going to go. Like a little green swishy line, I suppose.
But that does change as they travel.
Yeah, and it breaks to red, doesn't it, if they can't get to it.
If they kind of decide they can't get somewhere, they'll try another angle.
But they'll just stay there. They'll go anywhere. They will go anywhere. It's like, look, just go. You want them to walk 10 paces in front of them, and they're like, I'm going to go backwards and then round this mountain. I'm going to cry at you for half an hour about I can't get across this sea. It's like, because you went the wrong way. They're just like, where are you going?
Yeah.
I'm not. That's annoying. I mean, it's annoying, but I don't know. I'm wondering
how deliberate it is.
Exactly. Is that a gameplay mechanic in the game? I mean, it does project you where you're going, so you know where you've got to save them. But they're bastards.
They are.
They are little bastards. And I sort of wish, as much I think the game's brilliant. I think it is good. It's not up there with Another World, and it's a completely different game anyway. But the cutscenes bug me. Also, you see the same cutscene all the time.
Just over and over
just going through the caves.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you can't skip it.
And you can't skip it, yeah.
And it's telling you about a plot that doesn't really exist and you don't really give a shit
And they don't speak
anyway.
English, so you just get a lot of I don't even know if you hear it, you just get subtitles. So
no, they do kind of have a...
It's just like...
I don't know if it's genuinely like African dialect or if it's pseudo-African dialect, kind of Sims.
I'm presuming it's some sort of Simlish. They've all got bits of toast on their face.
Yeah, as you keep calling it.
They just got little slices of little hors d'oeuvres that they're wearing with eyes in it. And
little sticks. And your runner who goes off to find kind of magical powers from things. He kind of has some weird sort of kite.
It's like a parasol sort of kite thing, which that's quite cool, to be honest. But the game gets so I love it, but it screwed me over when it just kept introducing new things. You get sort of like I'm just.
It does boil down to a massive juggling act.
Exactly. And it's stressful. It's stressful. It should be. It looks like quite a peaceful game. It starts off quite peaceful, and then you're like, "What? You've given me a 2.5 minute timer, and now 7 dozen effects that I can do, and dudes that don't know where they're going, and water that washes away the stuff I've already done." It's like you freaking out by the end of it.
Certain levels towards the end, trying to prevent lava from setting fire to villages. You're trying to get one set of villagers to go after a new totem, whilst getting another village to get to like a relic to prevent a tidal wave, and it's constantly spinning plates.
It is nuts. And it gets to the point where you can pick up trees and plant trees down.
You get water trees and fire trees, and
the world shakes.
You also get exploding trees. Oh yeah, there's the breathing level. Where the earth kind of breathes, and it's got a massive body of water. It just swashes around.
Yeah. And then there's water springs where you're just like digging away, pulling up some sand, all of a sudden you hit a spring, and then there's just water everywhere, and you plug in those, and it's just like, what are you doing? I
think the toughest level is the one which rains. It takes it in turn. It takes it in turns from raining to volcanic eruptions. And it kind of got a balance like. Evaporating water, but then your volcano, obviously there's nothing preventing it from just kind of going over.
Can you plug a volcano?
No, not really. I think it always I think what you need to do is redirect the lava flow. So at the top, you need to kind of build walls of lava
I like that.
To kind of force the lava to go in different directions and stuff.
You just can't help but think throughout the whole thing, these guys should die. This is no place for a tribe of people with toast on their face.
Don't really do much.
Exactly.
And can't find a totem 5 steps ahead of them.
I don't know. Yeah, I like it. Have you finished it now?
I finished it. I think it boils down to persistence.
Yeah, is that something I'm looking for in a game though?
No.
Just sort of like, persistence will get you through. It's like, great, that's what gets me to the dentist. That's not necessarily what I'm going for.
It's not. I wouldn't class it as a particularly fun game.
No,
it's a challenging game.
It's different and it's good. And I'm glad it's there. But I don't know. I will finish it at some point, but in small bite-sized chunks that don't make me kill myself. Or just mercilessly kill a little tribe full of toast people. But I don't know. So then the next one's, we're behind now because we're obviously fortnightly, but there's Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet came out this week.
Yeah.
Which I haven't downloaded.
I've played the demo.
But I quite like the look of it.
I'm not overly keen. I didn't really like the art style of Limbo either. The whole silhouette thing.
I quite like the art in this because it's the dude that did the Iron Giant. I can't remember what his name is. This guy did Iron Giant, and then he worked at Pixar for a bit, and then he went and done this, or did the art for this. And so it's nicely animated, I think.
Yeah, the flow of it and the quality and the frame rate and everything looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just the actual premise of the game.
Well, it's like a Metroidvania sort of.
You keep saying that.
Well, it is, man. It is. You've got a world to explore. You go and unlock different bits, upgrade your weapons, and then you can get to
the whole thing with Metroid and Shadow Complex and Castlevania is they auto maps.
All right.
This doesn't.
Oh, does it not?
No. There's no auto map. There's no little in the
also,
corner.
You're a little spaceship with a grappling hook. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, you can hotkey. You get different weapons. You hotkey them to your button face, so you can flip between your laser gun and your kind of clawy hand thing. And then the clawy hand's multi-purpose. It serves different things. You use it to pick up rocks and
then there's
move bits of level around.
Blow you around. You can hold on and stuff.
I've not seen those, they're not in the demo as far as I'm aware.
I maybe made them up.
And then you kind of get upgrades for your shielding and stuff. It's okay, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, I've still got 1,200 points set on my Microsoft account, which I was waiting for another XBLA title, and I thought this was going to be it because what else is there? There's Toy Soldiers Cold War, Connect Fruit Ninja, which
I'm not going to buy it. Probably not.
And Crimson Alliance, but it's Crimson Alliance as soon as it's the free one if you buy them all. But is it not part of Summer Arcade?
I think it's just after.
I'm interested in Crimson Alliance because it's certain affinity. They've done it. It's similar to Heroes of Ruin.
Right.
It's the game I was working on, Square Enix, and or it looks similar at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-player co-op, hack and slash dungeon crawler. I'm interested in those guys because obviously they're ex-Halo guys. They did Call of Booty. Was it called Call of Booty? Or Age of Booty?
Age of Booty.
It's going to be called Call of Booty, but it's too cheeky, so they went Age of Booty. And I like that.
It was pretty good Age of Booty.
And they did the maps for Halo Reach, the last map pack.
Right.
And stuff. So, I might check that out, but otherwise, I don't know what to spend them on. There's other DLC. I'm going to give Dead Space 2 Severed DLC, maybe a go, or Minerva's Den.
I'm thinking of Bioshock 2's Minerva's Den.
Yeah. I don't know if I talked about Bioshock 2 last week.
We
last
did.
Time. Did
I'm
we?
pretty sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we did. I've gone off it now. I'm not down with that. But Minerva's Den is supposed to be amazing, and maybe I could give that a go. I think it's only like 400 points or 800 points.
Yeah, I've still got one last piece of DLC for Fallout that I'm saving points for, and I imagine it's either this month or next month. It's not that far between.
Well, and it's supposed to be, actually, talking about DLC, there's supposed to be some more Red Dead stuff coming.
There is, it's free.
Is it?
The Myths and Legends pack.
Which, so just get out there at the beginning. This ain't an Undead Nightmare type thing.
No, as far as I'm aware, it's multiplayer stuff.
I'll screw that.
So kind of skins and stuff. But it is free. It is free.
It's weird for them to bring it out now, though.
Yeah. Because I think they recently announced that they're not making a sequel.
I think they said publicly don't expect any more Red Dead.
Which is a crying shame, because Red Dead is an absolutely awesome game. I mean, at this point it's 50-50 because Revolver was absolute tripe.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But is it like, do you want more Red Dead? I mean, like, it's like, do you want another RoboCop movie? I don't.
If it's done well.
Don't touch my RoboCop.
If it's Paul Van Hoven.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose. All right, well, yeah.
I think that was the problem with kind of 2 and 3. They weren't, or 2 was. Two was Van Hoven, wasn't it? And Peter Weller again.
2's not terrible.
No, 2's pretty good. It's weird because it's kind of like 2 films. It's like it's like a TV show. The first 2 parts
just makes
of a
you
TV
terrified
show.
of kids, is what that little blonde freaking Zach Morris type kid is just, man, terrifies the shit out of me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. RoboCop 1's a perfect movie. All right, what have we? Let's go. What have you been playing? What have you played?
Well, I've played those 2 games.
Yeah, but what have you played that I haven't played?
Other stuff, I don't know. Well, Undead Nightmare.
Oh, speaking of Red Dead, yeah, I picked up my copy again, and I might go through it. But it's the first time you've done Undead Nightmare, right?
Yeah, I'm still playing through my first playthrough.
Okay.
I mean, I got it relatively soon after it came out.
Right.
But I had hit a wall where I couldn't get to Mexico. I didn't understand why. So I've been playing in increments. So this is my third return to my first
getting
playthrough.
through is just persistence.
yeah, I found that.
That classic gaming trope of persistence.
It gets you through anything, pretty much.
Yeah. All right, it's good. I miss Undead Nightmare.
It got really, really, really mixed reviews from customers.
Oh, really?
A lot of people were like, "It's fucking boring."
I mean, it's very different. It is very different to the original. It changes, it simplifies it quite a lot.
Yeah, it boils it down to kind of its bare bones sort
and
of
it's
thing.
sort of slapstick in its story as well. It's not as serious as Red Dead.
The story is like a spin-off, so it deviates at a timeline somewhere between you getting back to the farm and the end of the game. In terms of Red Dead's original plot line, where John's family are bitten by their kind of uncle that just sits around the house, and instead of John killing them, he hog ties them in the house.
You're after an antidote for them.
He's trying to find a cure to the entire plague to rescue his family, his wife and kid, and goes off, and it forces him back out into his adventuring pants.
I liked it. You get the 4 horses of the apocalypse, which is pretty
Of
cool.
which I've tamed war and famine.
Famine, yeah,
I've
Famine
got
was pretty good, I think. From that. And they've all got like little perks, haven't they? Like, doesn't war set them on fire?
War sets everything on fire.
And one of them's faster or doesn't have any stamina.
War doesn't seem to run out of stamina. Though it did say categorically when I got famine that he doesn't run out of stamina.
But
I don't
of
know
course,
if
you
Famine's
can
got
get
any
in
other
that,
abilities.
which I did get. Obviously, I've gone through the whole thing. You can get a unicorn.
Yes.
You can get a freaking unicorn. Then when you ride it, a top whack through the desert, it's got like a rainbow trail coming out the back of it, and it's like this is awesome.
And maybe a couple of fingers up to the Diablo lot.
Well, unicorns are
and rainbows.
Proper unicorns.
Yeah.
They're going from strength to strength these days. There's one in Red Faction, wasn't there? Red Faction
It's got the fighting unicorn.
Yeah.
Thing.
So yeah, Undead Nightmare I think is awesome. It has one of the best moments. Red Dead itself has one of the best endings in a video game, as far as I'm concerned. But Undead Nightmare has another best moment in video games, which is that Sasquatch moment.
Yeah, it's pretty harsh.
Which is that is awesome. Where you're hunting down You're hunting down Bigfoots, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the woods, and it's the last one, or it's the last one that's alive, or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
so
wicked. He looks like a proper. He looks like the big.
When you see them
footage,
from a distance,
just
they're
doing
kind
the
of
proper
like...
walk and stuff. But you finally catch up with him, don't you? And he's just like
So the mission is to kill 5 of them.
Right. Okay.
Because the guy tells you that they eat babies.
Yeah, and that's a reason enough to kill a Bigfoot. I think, you know. So you kill 4 of them, and then you get to the last one, and he's like sobbing by a tree.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Kill me," isn't he?
He's kind of begging for you to shoot him.
Like life's terrible, everyone hates him and stuff.
Yeah, because basically the rest you've wiped out the rest of his race.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense.
He just wants to be put out of his misery.
But then isn't there like a moment where you're going, yeah, well, of course I'm going to kill you because you eat babies?
Yeah, he's like, everybody knows that Sasquatches eat babies. Yeah. He's like, crazy humans. I eat berries. I eat berries and mushrooms. And John, at that point, John's face kind of drops a bit, and he's like, "Fuck, what have I done?"
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, well,
yeah, it boils down to do I shoot him, and I think
an achievement.
I think that is the only way for John to redeem himself at that point is to put it out of its misery.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And it's that good sort of George feeling like, oh. Berries, right? Yeah, that's not so bad.
They're basically vegetarians.
Yeah. Also, you can talk, which is fairly cool. I like it. And it does. I tell you what, Undead Nightmare does a really good job of re-skinning the world. To make it look like a sort of different game. It's got that sort of eerie zombie vibe to it,
and all the birds are replaced by bats. All of the dogs are replaced by zombie dogs.
You go to graveyards, don't you, every now and then, and there's like little horde mode bits where people come out of graves.
I hate the graveyards, man.
But the graves, what I do like about it is that, it's a bit, it repeats over and over again, and it's kind of a nightmare.
There is a point where you've got to go and clear like 5 of the fucking things at one point.
But the graves, like the main graves on it, I think there's like one chief grave.
Yeah, you get a kind of boss zombie on each.
But it's the main character from the original game. It's one of the NPCs, which I always love about it. It's like, you're dead.
Because basically everyone that does survive comes, you go and visit everyone again. And Mexico is opened up to you once you clear all of the missions in America, I found.
I don't know. Another thing it does, actually, it's got another badass soundtrack. It's got a wicked sort of, I don't know who it is that does it. It's some gothy rockabilly band called something like Skull Demons or freaking Killer Rock or Zappy 77 or something. And they do a wicked sort of like, I don't know, gothic Halloween rock.
Yeah, track. I did. Last night I did have a track that just kind of kicked in as I was riding around. It's really pretty cool. So, after doing the Mother Superior missions.
Maybe.
Where you kind of meet the nun and you've got to save everyone at the nunnery.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest gripe with it is the graveyards. They're a real bastard, and the control system is not set out for kind of overwhelming close quarter combat.
Yeah, that's
you do
true.
get moments where you get knocked to the ground, and he's just lying on the ground. You're like, John, fuck's sake, get up! Because you're just being whacked in the head by spitting zombies and running zombies and the creepy, crawly ones that run along the ground really quickly. And it's a real bastard to kind of aim at heads as well.
Yes, it's not. because it's much more shooter oriented.
Yeah, you've got everything's headshots. Yeah, they're zombies. You've got to take them out for the head. So you spend a lot of time in Deadeye mode.
It's big as well. It's a big game.
It's the same size.
But in terms of like length, it's quicker though, isn't it? In terms of the map's the same size. The actual length of the game is
missions.
Shorter.
There's not that many.
But it's good. You can probably pick it up quite cheap now as well.
The disc by itself, I don't know. Maybe it's probably about £15 for just all of the DLC.
Wasn't there some difference between the DLC? I got the DLC and as opposed to the disc version. It came out.
The disc version is Game of the Year without the main game. It's all of the downloadable content to date.
So does the disc version still have the multiplayer? It does have that. Okay. Maybe there's not then. I thought there was some sort of discrepancy between the two, but it might have just been time because the disc version didn't come out at the same time as DLC. I think it was only a couple of weeks, but they definitely weren't a dual release.
No, they weren't. No, they kind of released everything as downloadable content and then brought the disc out.
Massive spoiler on the cover of the box.
In what respect?
Undead John.
Right.
At the end of it, you are Undead John. You get to be that zombie.
Thanks.
Sorry. Well, it's on the cover of the box. Anyway.
And to everybody else.
Yeah. Fuck you. You should have played it by now.
Yeah,
but it's there. It's right there. I was like, oh, right. That's great. Thanks for letting me know that.
Okay.
He's just there pointing his bloody double-barrel shotgun at me. All right. Yeah, that's sweet. That's what I want to go back and play it. I'm gonna go back
I think you should.
Well, maybe I will.
I think you should.
But that's not the only old game you've been playing, is it?
No.
You've been playing another old game, styled after an even older game.
Styled after, yeah.
What game is that?
Scott P.
Scott Pilgrim. Is it Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
It is, yeah. It takes the title of the comic books and the film.
Right.
And how awesome is that game? It is fantastic.
Since I got my PS3 set up again, and because that's where I bought it, I didn't get it. You got the XBLA version.
Yeah, I've got it on Xbox.
I'm tempted to go back to it, but I haven't yet because my PS3's done that whole thing of like, you want to play this game that you previously could play? You want to play this game that you've bought that's on your system? You want to play this game? You want to actually play this game? Yeah, that's going to cost you 45 minutes worth of updates, my friend. And it's like, well, what about screw the updates? I was happy with how it was. It's like, no. You can't play it without these updates.
Please.
Yeah, exactly. These updates are for you. These are
These are vital updates.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll download those updates and I'll wait 45 minutes for it, or won't, as this seems to have happened so far. And I'll get into the game and it'll be exactly the fucking same.
I don't notice anything different.
No, it's like what? It's not. Is it in 3D now? Is it? What have you done? It's like, no, we just fixed something that's broken that you didn't even know about.
Yeah.
But
it could have affected you.
Or we broke something while you were away, and now we fixed it. But either way, it's 45 minutes. And by the way, you weren't needing that extra sort of 300 megabytes of your hard drive space, were you? We're just going to use that for now. Just going to buffer it. So I haven't played it, but yeah, it was a good game. It looks wicked. It's old. What's his name? The dude does the visuals for it. Anamanaguchi. I want to say that. I just quite like saying that. That might not be anything to do with anything. Let's just say it one more time. Anamanaguchi. I don't know. The dude that does the visuals anyway.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea. You're a research guy. You know everything. If you don't know, then we're screwed.
So it looks like it doesn't. The press release for it when it came
Everyone
out,
says 8-bit, and it's not even.
Like,
it's 16-bit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's bloody good 16-bit
as
well.
If not, it's Neo Geo 32-bit in super high definition.
If that was possible on an 8-bit machine, then
we've been robbed.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks swish.
Yeah, so it's kind of pixel art, and it takes all of its leads from the comic book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so you've got robots,
original sketches
you've got the twins in their super robot at the end. It takes it's got his sisters in it and stuff that one of his sisters in the films, isn't she? But he does actually have two sisters and a brother, Scott Pilgrim, in the comic books. Even though his brother's literally in one scene where he fly kicks him in the face, thinking he's a big bad boss.
An easy mistake to make.
Yeah. Because he realised that he suddenly wears glasses.
And it's got that also, and still, for all that, it's River City Ransom, this game, that's all it is.
I've never played River City Ransom.
Yeah, you have, because you're playing it this week in the guise of Scott Pilgrim.
Right, okay.
It just is River City Ransom. But it's got that awesome Universal screen at the beginning, where it's all like pixelated. It's like,
and the music is kind of 8-bit.
The music again is someone famous, maybe Anamanaguchi. I've heard it's very good. But it's someone like that. Cheryl, I know you're a big fan of this game. In fact, you played it a lot, and you actually said prior to coming on the show that you had a little something you wanted to say about it. Do you want to get that off your chest now? Brilliant.
Awesome as always.
She's absolutely right, though.
It's like she read my mind.
It's like she read it. It's like she not only read your mind, that was how she gave it to you as well. Thanks, Joe. We'll be checking back in with you a little bit later on. Scott P.
So its premise is basically a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
It's River City Ransom.
Right. For those of us, haven't played River City Ransom. It's side-scrolling beat 'em up. Takes all of its cues from the comics. It has a lot of 16-bit cheats in it as well.
Oh yeah, it's got classic cheats, hasn't it? It's got
so
proper the Konami code
and stuff like that.
Sonic cheats and stuff like that.
Unlock different game modes, survival mode and stuff. Unlocks the Sword of Love that you can play through the entire game with, and just like boosts your power ridiculously. You notice you feel the burn when you lose the sword.
Yeah. It's got shops, hasn't it? So that's where it's like River City Ransom in the fact that it's side-scrolling beat 'em up, but it's got RPG-like elements to it, isn't it? Where you're buying shops and upgrades and perks and different things.
And you unlock new moves as you level up. You can buy new moves. You can buy a secret move as well.
Nice.
On level 5.
So you've gone through it like how many times have you been through the game?
This is my 5th playthrough. Right. I'm kind of parallel running Nega Scott, who is unlocked after you've completed it with Ramona, with Scott, with Kim, and
the dude that looks like Shaggy from the.
I want to say Wallace.
No, really? That's the gay one.
Is it?
Yeah,
I can't remember what his
that's
mate
Macaulay
is.
Culkin's brother.
Right.
No, it's the other dude.
We'll have a look in the comments. We'll have a look in the comments when we take the
the
break.
lead singer of the band.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember his name.
Let's call him Band. Yeah, all right. So you've been through. Actually, I haven't been through that many times. I couldn't do it. It's hard as nails as well. The levels are long.
It's not. It's once you know what you're doing. It's real easy.
All right.
It's all about getting your bionic arm. You get your bionic arm, that increases your power by 50%.
Stuff is nuts. I mean, the Scott Pilgrim world is pretty nuts anyway.
Yeah, and so you buy kind of band t-shirts and headbands and wristbands, and that increases your defensive stats. And you can just keep buying them, and it'll increase your defense by 2 every time. You can get your bionic arm, which increases your power by 50%. Once you're at 100%. That's as strong as you can be.
So when you're going back through it each time, you're using a different character.
Yeah.
You got to read all your stats, or do they carry across?
No.
They don't carry across. You're leveling up.
They stay on your system at level 16
okay.
with like all of their abilities and stats and stuff. And every time you start the game with a new character, you have to build them up again. But I mean, one playthrough can be maybe 3 hours.
That's quite long. But bear in mind, these games, styled after, TMNT in the arcade or any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
They ain't long games. They're designed. They're not designed so you can beat them in the arcade because they want your money, but you can, and you're not going to be there 3 hours.
Maybe. Turtles in Time on Super Nintendo was quite a long game.
But was Turtles in Time in the arcade? Though?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, okay.
So. It was Konami home system version, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Which was kind of the sequel to the original beat 'em up.
But then, and I think that's probably why that was the difference,
maybe.
wasn't it?
Yeah. They want method. Obviously they want people to buy it. They want to get good reviews, and they want it to.
I liked it. I like Scott Pilgrim. I don't know if I actually play with an arcade stick for that real arcade experience, but it also just makes it another pain in the ass to get out. And I've got to put this heavy thing on my lap.
Yeah, you need a little table or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or
maybe borrow your daughter's.
Maybe that's not a bad idea. She won't mind.
I mean, the real kick is that if you want to play multiplayer, it is local only.
Oh yeah, snap!
To keep that retro flavour. They were like, you can only play this 4 guys on a sofa in your house. You can't no live or PSN support for that, which is kind of like it's quite funny, but. In the long run, it's actually kicking the nuts.
Yeah,
because
it's not something you're going to be doing.
Castle Crashers and that sort of stuff, you want to be able to play over Xbox Live, and Castle Crashers does provide Xbox.
It's weird. I don't know why they went with that. I suppose it's just a dev thing. I don't know if did it come out in conjunction with the movie or.
Yeah, it was around the same time. It wasn't that much difference, maybe a month tops.
Yeah. And it also came out on PS3 first, didn't it? As well?
Yeah, it was time release PS3.
Yeah, so
because you had it significantly before me.
So the other thing that's quite cool, there's 2 things actually I think that's quite cool about it. One is, as in the movie, when you kill an enemy, they burst into coins. That's what you use to buy your upgrades with. But also those like Star Road bits, like
kind of
glitch
Ramona's
level type thing. Yeah, exactly. Her little like warping from place to place. They're like little glitchy sort of, as though you need to blow on your cartridge sort of levels.
Yeah.
They're quite cool.
Yeah, and plus there's obviously, within them there's the Mario references of the big blocks that you can punch to get coins out of. And plus there's also the kind of Golden Axe reference where you get the little gnomes that run on and look like Link from Legend of Zelda. But they act
the little dudes
like,
with the little bags over there.
They're like the Golden Axe gnomes. And then you kick the crap out of them and get money out of them as well.
And Golden Axe is a bad game. It is a bad game.
We were young.
It's no Altered Beast, because that's a bad game.
Altered Beast. Even like at 10 or whatever I was when Altered Beast came out, I fucking hated it. Yeah. Shit.
It's like, and now you're going to transform into the same thing. It's like, brilliant. Thanks for that. That's power. But we digress, I feel. All right. Well, anything else, Scott Pilgrim, or shall we move?
If you've not played it, give it a go.
Give it a go.
Try it. You might like it.
Cheap now? Probably not. XBLA games don't really come down in price.
No, they do offers every now and again. If it's on an offer, buy it. It'll be a bargain.
Why don't they do the Steam thing? Just like randomly. Why can't I buy every PopCap game for $30 or something? Or
I don't know. I'm not Mr. Microsoft.
No,
I can't give you the answer to your
but
question.
Steam pull it off really well. They do that. I mean, it's like Terraria was that they do good sales and stuff, and you can gift. Why can't I gift stuff on Xbox?
Well, they've kind of brought in the whole family system, haven't they? Where you can start a parent account and then they can distribute Xbox, Microsoft points to.
But that's no good
stuff.
for if I just want to buy you a game.
No,
I'm not going to.
No.
No, I mean I'm not going.
No, I got that.
I don't want to. I'm not down with that.
Right.
But you could have bought me one.
I could have.
Yeah, there you go.
Could kick you in your nuts.
Well, that's another option as well. But unfortunately, Microsoft don't support that either. So hats off to you. All right. Well, look, on that note, I think we're going to take a short break.
Yep.
Because we've been rolling here for 50 minutes. Cheryl, if you could just let me finish, that would be great. You'll get your chance. We've already given you a few moments, but just right now I'm talking, so if you just keep shushed. We're going to have a quick break then. In this break, actually, tying into what we're going to talk about when we come back. I think we'll probably do it straight after. We're going to play a little clip from a track called For the Gamers, I believe, by Random AKA MegaRan, who you had the opportunity of hooking up with last week. Yeah. And I'm sure you're going to get all moist and gooey over that in a little while. So we'll come back with that. It's pretty cool, actually, and we've got some announcements with regards to that, or we will have, hopefully, some stuff that we can talk about with MegaRan in the future. But enjoy this track. We're just going to play the end For the Gamers because it's freaking awesome. Not only because it's just some badass tunage anyway, in terms of the Capcom sample that's using from DuckTales, but also just MegaRan himself, freaking amazing. Just knocks it out of the park. So you listen to that. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. For you, it'll be like 30 seconds. And we'll see how that goes. Catch you in a bit.
Sec.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff.
Super Mario Trilogy, Billy Lee, Jimmy Lee, Castlevania, Contra, Jackal, the Super C, Load Runner, Kid, Nicky, Mega Man, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get the picture. Even Shadow of the Ninja, Section Z, Rygar, Gradius, Die Hard, Crystallis, Armagon, Super Spike, Metal Gear, Metroid, Pro-Wham, Captain Skyhawk 2, Maniac Mansion, but I had to use the walkthrough. Bayou Billy, Spy Hunter, Shadow Game, Russian Attack, Skater, Die 2, Blaster Master, get me in the house, Battletoads, DuckTales, Chippendale, Mickey Mouse, Faces Loaded, Progress, the track and field, I hit the hurdles, Legendary Wings, but I gave up on Ninja Turtles, Nemo, Metal Storm, Lolo, Adventure Isle, Bionic Commando, Wizards and Warriors, Markers in my pocket, Kirby, got this quest, of course, Final Fantasy, Balloon Fight, Earthbound, Tecmo Bowl, Koye, Trucking Catch for first downs, Double Dribble, River City, Ransom, Kid Icarus, still know the code to Mike Tyson, it's ridiculous, Donkey Kong, Global 13, and Goonies 2, Guardian, Legend, Friday the 13th, who could've knew, some call it obsession, but they can't understand, creativity and gaming, maybe just what I am, with the Bible under my hand, I swear, if I wasn't a gamer, I probably wouldn't have a career, some of y'all ain't gon' get with this, but there's a million people that might feel different, the gamers, the gamer, 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 the gamer.
All right, we're back. You're listening to Things We Play, episode 7. That was Random, aka MegaRan, with a little bit from the Gamers. From the Gamers?
For the Gamers from Forever Famicom.
Yes.
Is the album.
Now, we said before the break that you, Shaun, actually, you jetted up to London last week to
meet them.
To meet him. Well, meet them, because it wasn't just MegaRan, was it?
No.
But, tell us about that. What was it? He was playing. It was a random gig, wasn't it? You only heard about it like the day before.
Yeah, it was very short notice.
And
it was an anime convention.
Right.
That he just happened to be at. He was in the UK for 2 weeks, I think it was. Okay. Just kind of touring around, going up to Manchester, coming down to London, going back up to Manchester, coming back down to London. From his Twitter account, he was a busy chap while in the UK.
Yeah.
And seemed to enjoy it a lot. Man, they're so. I cannot stress how nice these guys are.
Oh, really?
They are awesome. And he was outside when we got there with Kay Murdoch, the producer from Forever Famicom.
Right.
And so he was outside. I was kind of shouted at him as I was walked past. He gave me a wave and looked a bit surprised that someone in the UK knew who he was.
Right, all right, okay, fair enough.
And once I was inside, he was kind of milling around before the show, talking to people. K Murdoch was kind of dealing with sound equipment and mic checking and stuff like that. And Lost Perception, the producer on Black Materia,
which is the
Final
Fantasy
based
sort of
album, from 7 specifically, was like selling the MegaRan wares, of which there is many.
Right,
Mouse,
okay.
They've got sweet mouse mats, a massive amount of CDs.
Yeah.
They've done, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 albums there was on the table.
Sweet.
I bought the 2 most forefront ones, which are Forever Famicom, which is probably their best known one, followed by Black Material. And both of them are just fantastic albums.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I've not heard Black Material, and he brought us back a copy, and it's freaking sweet. Forever Famicom, obviously, as well. That's the thing that I initially saw of MegaRan. And it's so awesome. And then that For the Gamers track gets me every single time. I mean, the thing that I was impressed with when I spoke to you about it when he came back was this guy. In fact, all of them, they are gamers, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is they care about this stuff, and they know their shit.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. They're not just dropping in titles of games for the sake of it. These are games they've played, they know, and they get the references. And it's
at one point, DN3, who's kind of like the other rapper who's there, who I didn't get a chance to speak to, and MegaRan were arguing on stage over what colour the second and first players of Contra Spirits were.
Nice.
For UK listeners, that would be Super Pro Protector, if you're not
and one hell of a freaking game.
aware of the American and Japanese and UK crossovers.
Yeah.
For whatever legal reasons at the time there were.
No, it's cool. So it's good that he's such an approachable chap. You got a picture of him actually.
Yeah, on my Twitter account, it's me and Ran up there. And yeah, I mean, they got time for people as well.
Yeah.
As I say, Mega was out before the show. He's talking to people, and the amount of crowd participation that he gets into his gigs,
Nice.
literally every hook has got you either waving your hands in the air or shouting back at them while they give you a lead in. It got people pumped, man. By the end of his set, and his set wasn't long; it was about an hour, but he did 3 shows that day.
Okay, all right.
Or maybe might have been an hour and a half. By the end of his set, I mean, I think pretty much everybody in the room was on their feet,
Sweet.
kind of dancing, and there's some crazy white people dancing going on, crazy legs and stuff. And I don't mean like the world champion break dancer.
just very white dancing.
Yeah.
I guess.
And then kind of afterwards, I spoke to Lost Perception quite a lot before when I'm mic checking and afterwards as well. And they're really humble, really approachable. I mean, if they're playing in your area, spend money. Spend the money, you will not regret it. You'll have a fucking awesome time.
But you were saying that actually MegaRan himself had some sort of weird deal with, because obviously, I mean, he raps over game stuff, uses game samples and stuff. But you're saying Capcom actually approached him.
Yeah, so the thing is, with literally every single one of his tracks has a backstory.
Right, okay.
So in between each track he does, he's on stage kind of giving you the history behind the track. And the track, I don't know what specifically the track is that he was referring to. It's Little Nemo, I think the name of the game.
Right,
the
yeah,
sample
yeah.
is, that neither of us have heard of, and it probably wasn't ever released in the UK. Where he's kind of rapping about how hard his life was growing up, how he's kind of pretty much friendless. And his mum, even though they had no money, bought him an NES, and he kind of chased his dreams through playing video games, and it kind of kept him out of the street and away from drugs and away from crime and stuff. And then it's kind of like he's a biography in a rap track.
Yeah.
Goes off to college and starts making hip hop beats, and then
That's what I love about this stuff. Is it's so personal, you know,
very
and it's
personal.
like, and everyone's got that, you know. Everyone as a gamer has some sort of like some way in which some gamers touched them in some way or made them think differently about this. And he's just a prime example of that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's in his lyrics throughout it's just it's wicked. It's freaking awesome stuff. I can't rave about it enough. But yeah, so Capcom.
yeah, and the point was at the beginning of the track, he's like saying, I had this dream where I started making hip hop beats, and he's like, "That's just crazy. Who's going to pay me to rap?" And then he's kind of like, and then I started making hip hop beats out of 8-bit tracks, and that's nuts. I mean, who would succeed doing that?
Yeah.
And then Capcom rang me up, and they're like, "Hey, is this Random? Hi." I can't do it as well as he does. He does it well.
All right, that's fine.
The guys at the office been listening to your stuff, and we really like it. We'd like to co-sign you. And he is co-signed by Capcom, so he's 100% legitimate to use all of Capcom's tracks.
That are in
in
there's
his
some
music.
good stuff. In
Yeah,
there. There is some good stuff in there.
I mean, Capcom's got a long history of video games.
Yeah. No, that's sweet. Well, actually, and in fact, so while you were there as well, you spoke to him about possibly we're potentially going to try and get him on.
Yeah, initially I was just talking to him as a fan, and then afterwards he came off. I kind of said it to Lost Perception while he's up on stage doing stuff, was saying, I'll do a podcast, you know. And first thing that came out of Lost Perception's mouth was, let's do an interview.
Awesome.
I was like, yeah, I'd love to do an interview. I've not brought anything with me at all.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Not
Well,
my
you
brain.
went there as a fan.
I went there purely as a fan.
Rather on business.
Yeah,
so.
and not expecting to kind of get that opportunity. But I've been keeping in touch. Both Lost Perception and MegaRan have followed me on Twitter. I'm following both them and K Murdoch and DN3.
Sweet. So
on
we can
Twitter.
get those links from your
Yeah,
account.
and MegaRan's given us his Skype, and so hopefully in between kind of his touring and stuff, we will get an interview. Possibly in the next 2 weeks. I don't want to promise anything.
Yeah, we'll see what we can. Obviously, it's going to have to fit around his schedule and
And
stuff.
from what I understand, it looks like he's got a pretty busy schedule. He is due to go off to Tokyo relatively soon also.
Cool. All right, well, no, that's something to look out for and something we have in the coming week. It's worth doing, actually, anyone that's interested. And seriously, you should support these guys because they're awesome. It's not only they
And
do
we
great
want
work,
them, we
but
want
they're
them to
great
succeed
guys.
in a massive way.
You can check them out on MegaRan, megaran.com, I think
Yeah.
is the web address, and you can get everything on there. Obviously, as Shaun said, he's following everyone on Twitter, so you can have a look at his list and grab them on there.
At MegaRan, oh man, Lost Perceptions is crazy, and K Murdoch's isn't K Murdoch.
Right.
I think
Beauty of Twitter.
yeah, I think DN3 is relatively close to that, but not quite that. Right. Yeah, look at my friends list; they're all there.
But if you get stuck, hit at MegaRan, and you'll be better find it, extrapolate it out from there. Sweet, no, that's cool. What I was going to ask you actually while you were there, because you had the whole anime convention anyway. Well, did you see much else of the convention? I know you went down just for MegaRan.
Not really. I didn't hang around afterwards. I just shot back. It was quite an arduous quest.
It's just a lot of fat people in
Relying
weird
on-
costumes. A lot of
Carl.
teethers.
There wasn't as many fat people as you'd think. There was
Fat Naruto, was he there?
there
must have been there
was
somewhere.
a lot of people dressed as various ninjas from Naruto.
Yeah.
Some Bleach, a lot of game references. There was Rude and Reno from the Turks of Final Fantasy VII fame. There was Ezio.
Nice.
Eldiatori, who I got a photograph of, doing his little flourishing bow. He had his pose down. He was prepared.
Exactly.
You gotta be. You're gonna go cosplay.
That's not just a costume. That's a way of life.
You go cosplay. You gotta be prepared to pull the poses.
Awesome. No, that's cool. All right. Well, let's get back to some games then. In that time while you're away, I picked up a game from PlayStation 3 since I'm on a PS3 trip at the moment. I'll tell you what, actually, in playing the PS3 more and using it, quite liking it.
Really?
Yeah, never really got massively into my PS3, but at the moment it's like, yeah, this is kind of working. Anyway, what I'm getting at is we had Move, and it's nothing for Move. I don't know why. It's just a coloured ball on a stick that I still think is quite cool every time it lights up, but that ain't enough.
Basically Wii controls though.
Yeah. But I wanted to try it out with first-person shooter, because that was Sony's thing.
It's kind of big selling point to the adults.
That's Kevin Butler standing there in front of you telling you you're a dickhead for using something that doesn't have buttons, basically, and you can shoot things. And we knew that it was, there were two games in particular that stood out for that. One was Mag, which has moved
massively
for
action
controls.
game.
And the other one was Killzone 3.
Yeah.
Now, I had Mag ages ago, and I'm not that into it, really. It's big-scale SOCOM, and it's a bit too serious. But Killzone 3 is... that's flagship PS3 title. That's up there with Uncharted and sort of importance.
Infamous.
Yeah. So I thought I'd give that a go. I didn't play through the game, and I wanted to try and move for an FPS. Let's see if it works. Two things really. We'll talk about Killzone 3 in a minute. Let's just talk about the move stuff first.
Sure.
You just had a go just briefly before recording, didn't you? And I don't think you got on with it quite as well as I did.
No.
it works.
Well, for a start, I couldn't fucking tune the thing.
Yeah, all right.
Whatever
So
you call
we
it.
have some tuning issues. I mean, I found in my experience it works, and it feels a little bit like a mouse
Okay.
in doing it. But that ain't any way I want to play a game at all. You know? It's weird. It's not. It's not immersive at all because it doesn't feel like you're holding a gun because you're holding the Z controller as well.
To be fair, there is a £30 piece, a £40 piece of plastic you can buy specifically for Killzone.
That's a good point.
But not limited to using it with Killzone. Obviously, you can use it for Resident Evil 5 Gold Move Edition. You can use it for MAG and whatever other first-person shooters support it.
But yeah, I mean, it sort of works, but it changes the game quite a lot. Like the control scheme's slightly different. You get this sort of like dead zone in the middle where you can aim in the screen. Then when you go to the edges of the screen, that's what turns your character left and right. That means you are slow, man. You are slow in turning around, or you're turning all the time and don't know where you're going.
Sometimes it seems to be hypersensitive.
It's the up and down.
So you get 2/3 of the way up the screen, and suddenly you're looking at the sky.
Yeah.
And then you try and rectify it, and suddenly you're looking at the ground, and you kind of have to do a weird little shake with your hand, which sort of brings you back to looking.
Oh, does it?
It might be that that's what you do, and it's supposed to do that, but...
it's got other weird stuff, like you twist the controllers to do a reload.
Instead of just
you force it forwards for a melee.
You can do that, or you can just press the O button.
Oh, okay. Well, that's maybe... I mean, you can play with move. You can't just play with control. Yeah, I don't know. It gives you a lot of assists as well. It's kind of like the game goes, by the way, this mode's a bit broken. How about we just lock onto every character? So in some ways, the game is a lot easier with it. But it is in that sort of way of like, well, it's easy to jump off a cliff.
I imagine so. I didn't find any cliffs.
It's not necessarily a good idea.
5 or 10 minutes I played with the move.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not convinced.
It's got issues that need to be worked on.
Yeah. It's just there's some nice stuff in Killzone actually. Killzone already had some nice stuff with the DualShock. Yeah. Well, so this is what I learned when playing Killzone 3. So I played for 10 minutes with Move and then went, right, sod that. I'm just going to play with the pad now. 2 things. One, it doesn't suffer in the same way that say Call of Duty, that I think Call of Duty and other FPSs suffer on the PS3 with the really swimmy dual sticks.
Right.
It seems to cater for that a little bit better. And it's not as bad as Killzone 2, which was, it bobbed so much up and down as you were walking, that it made me almost sick, Like, I want my first-person shooter protagonist to be on roller skates.
Yeah.
That's how I want them to be on amazing roller skates as well. But I forgot when playing it, the DualShock has, like, tilt sensors in it.
Right.
Nothing uses that anymore.
No, very little things do.
And Killzone does it really well. When you're planting like a charge, like an explosive charge on doors, you do a few times.
I did that.
Like put it on, and then you have to like twist it left, twist it right, and then release it. And it's like that's quite cool.
Yeah,
it's better than your standard sort of balance beam stuff that you normally get in these sorts of games. The game's all right. It's all right. It's kind of like it's not great to play. It's kind of great. It's great to watch. It looks brilliant. The story's okay. Got a bit of beef with the fact that we seem to be back on the Death Star and all the bad guys are British now. Even to the point, there's one point where your main hero has to do a Han Solo moment and sort of pretend to be a British. And it's like, yeah, everything's right. I can't do a British accent, obviously. But it's like, yeah, everything's okay.
Not an American British accent.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do an American guy doing a bad British. I can't do probably a bad British actor doing an American accent doing a British accent. I don't know what it is. So yeah, a bit of beef with that. The whole Hellgas, despite the fact they're in millions of miles in space or whatever, they're all British
and seemingly dressed like Nazis. All the officers
are
dressed like
big Nazi vibe.
German Luftwaffe agents and stuff.
But it looks swish, man. Like, the firefights are cool. They're still not as good as say Halo firefights in terms of AI and stuff like that. But everything blows up. You're breaking through glass, you're breaking papers over top, computers are broken. It's just that looks kind of nuts, and it mixes it up with some really good sequences. So it's got a mech sequence, a la Fear sort of stuff, which, all right, it's still sort of on rails, but not quite. You're just a hunking mech that just sort of blows everything up. But the HUD stuff is wicked. There's sort of all your little like, whoa, there's like little icons and shit all over your screen. Really, really smart. So that's cool. The jetpacks are wicked as well. They're just awesome looking jetpacks. Not particularly good jetpacks, but they look kind of cool, and they've got badass weapons that come over your shoulder. And you can take them off and put them on, which is kind of cool. And it's got the bit you saw actually,
The tumbler.
The tumbler on
ice
rails.
tumbler.
It's not really on rails.
No, you do control it, but not the gun.
No, that's weird, isn't it? So you've got directional control of your actual vehicle in this sort of Wipeout style snow escape, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you've got missiles that lock on, which you have to use to destroy these dropships that are coming down for you. And then it's got a gun, a machine gun, that fires dead straight.
At the ground,
nothing is ever in front of you.
It's very rare.
It's just like,
unless
what?
you're going over like a hillock.
I suppose, yeah.
That's the only time your gun is actually pointing at the fucking enemy.
That is the only time you're going to hear the word hillock on this podcast as well. Mark my words.
Not necessarily. We've got Terraria to talk about in a few weeks.
It's a good point.
There's an update coming for Terraria. We'll talk about that.
So Killzone's alright. It looks flash. The story I found that was, is alright. I haven't quite finished it. I'm on like the last bit of the level.
My impressions are it looks sharp as.
Yeah.
It does look really crisp. There's a lot of background detail, I was playing for a scrapyard level, and there's a lot of shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But the voice acting sucks.
Voice acting's bad, man. Voice acting's real bad.
For a game that polished, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's true. But it feels like a PlayStation 3 game. It's one of those games that something the PlayStation 3 does do is it has a couple of games that do feel like they are better than a lot of, like they couldn't be done on another system almost. Killzone's got that, this can only be done on PS3. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like that. And Uncharted 2 is probably a similar one up there. They're polished to hell. But there's only like three, Sony's only got like 3 of these games.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They need a few more. If you've got a PS3 and you're after a first-person shooter and a story-driven one that's not Call of Duty, it's worth a look.
I imagine the vast amount of kind of PlayStation 3 owners have played it or are playing it
at this point.
because it came out when there was a lull in software. And I think it was the only thing out that week.
I had a brief bash on multiplayer.
When it came out. Right.
And multiplayer's all right. It's not bad. What I did like about multiplayer is 2 things. One was you got all your not faction-based, but class-based stuff. And there's one dude like the assassin or whatever who can disguise himself as the other team, which is wicked, and it's frantic as fuck. So you've just got some guy and you're like, he's on my team, he stabbed me. And it's like, you son of a bitch. But it does cool stuff with the modes. So you'll go into a game mode and it'll be like, like in Halo, you've got sort of loads of separate, capture the flag, team deathmatch, or objective-based stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of all of those in the same game mode. Right. You're just in the level, and it just keeps switching after, 15 minutes or after an objective's done. It goes, right, here's a new one. Now you're infiltrating this base, or now you're trying to get that flag or whatever it is back to your base. Yeah. And it's cool, except for it doesn't give you enough of a break between things. Like it doesn't. I feel like I played one multiplayer game and it went on for bloody ages. And I kind of needed that. Oh, like it'd be nice to do another level now.
Yeah.
Or get rid of that screaming kid that's just shouting, profanity at me or whatever. The only person with a headset. He bought it just to grief people who have TVs. So it's interesting, but it's still not gonna
sway you.
No, I'm not going back. I've done my time.
Yeah,
I've done my time.
You checked it out.
Done my Killzone 3 community service.
I mean, in my opinion, it is way too COD. The ballistic, the iron sights, all of that sort of crap. I don't like. I can imagine it's got its fans.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Killzone's it's weird. What I'll say about it, it looks like, and you don't even know what I'm talking about, but we probably shouldn't say that because people they'll be emailing us in telling us you're a fool. But it does look like the famous Killzone 2 E3 demo that was complete bullshit nonsense this is all CGI. It does genuinely look like that. It's like, you've done it now. Yeah, you've done it like 5 years too late or something. But yeah, it's swish looking. I'm on a bit of a trip at the moment for games that look nice. I'm visual spectacle.
Obviously,
more than
from
else.
your new television still being relatively new.
Exactly. I'm still basking in the glory glow of that, I suppose.
But he's saying Eli doesn't look great.
Book of Eli. It's a Book of Eli. What a film! Yeah, and
fantastic.
Again, Blu-rays. A bit of a Blu-ray trip at the moment. Book of Eli. It might as well be. It's like if you took a black and white movie. It's not black and white, but it might as well be. And you just up the contrast to the extreme, and then the brightness as well. And it's just like, what am I looking at? I feel like everything's a silhouette.
It looked like it was quite a filtered film.
Yeah,
so it's got added grain. It's got filters that
badass.
make it look very pale and washed out colour, almost sepia.
If you want to see Denzel Washington take down 6 guys in one go with a machete, it's your film of choice.
It's Gary Oldman as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
It's a villain
In Fallout,
Yeah, basically.
that's it. It's Fallout.
There are some epic scenes where he'll just come over the horizon and there's bits of fucking motorway just smashed with wires and fucking concrete.
I don't know who did it. Well, it's Gary Whitta, isn't it? Gary Whitta's the guy who wrote it.
Right.
Who is from the video game crowd.
Oh, okay.
And so that's maybe. So I think there's more than a Fallout nod to its sort of visual look. But wicked film anyway. If you've not seen it,
Watch it, definitely.
You mentioned there actually we were gonna have a quick blast on EDF, but you mentioned Terraria, which we forgot to talk about last week.
No, we're not going to come to Terraria yet.
No,
we're going to save Terraria because there's updates coming this week.
All right, so we're not
1.0.6, and I'm excited.
Man, well, the 0.6 is what matters.
Yeah.
What's happening in the update?
Oh man, it's got toilets. It's got cooking pots. It's got sofas.
I mean, I suddenly have to worry about eating and excreting.
No, man, it's not Sims.
Right,
it's Terraria. It's just if you want to put a toilet in your fucking awesome castle that you have built brick by brick, motherfucker, you can.
My castle in Terraria, which I haven't checked in on in a while. I need to. I need to go back and cut that grass for a start. But I need to check back in. I'm not having toilets in my castle. I don't need toilets in my castle.
I'm going to have toilet in my castle. Right. And a cooking clock. And you can put background windows in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought that's very swish.
So when's that coming? It's coming this week?
It's coming this week, so we'll talk about it in the next podcast.
Revisit Terraria. But then I need to get back on it then and play with some badass.
I need to check the Twitter account, see when... Because they just say early this week, so I'm sure they'll let us know when the update is.
All right, cool. All right, well, in that case, then, let's go on to EDF, Earth Defense Force, Insect Armageddon, which is the new one, but you've also been playing 2017.
I've been playing 2017, and I only briefly played Armageddon here at your place.
Now, we had planned initially for us to be talking quite extensively about Insect Armageddon, except for we forgot one fatal flaw about Insect Armageddon, and that is, it's fucking dreadful. Like, it really is. Like, I fired it up. For one, that game, you press the start button, you go in, you choose your character, and you're thinking, okay, it looks like more Insect. It looks like more 2017. It starts with an on-rails shooting section.
You seemed very upset.
It's like, what? Why? There's no need. Like, I'm in a helicopter as it's putting you guys down on the streets, and you've just got a minigun, and it's just, you've seen it in a million games before, and you're just gunning down ants. It's dreadful. It looks horrendous. And it's like, that's not... I bet you that's the only time you do it in the game.
Probably.
You know, and it's pointless. Just start me on the ground. I don't need that.
Yeah.
You know, who's knowingly buying Insect Armageddon that hasn't played 2017? It's only people that have played 2017 that are buying it, or people that are just oblivious and go, this looks like a great game. You know? And those, they ain't pleasing anyone. So, yeah, Earth Defense Force, Insect Armageddon, it's not, man, it has lost all of the charm and pizzazz that the first game had. And that didn't have loads of it.
That's debatable, man. This 2017 is a conundrum wrapped in a...
I do love 2017. I love the basic concept. The basic concept of these games is you are a dude in a city with hundreds of guns, all with unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
And you're fighting giant insects and robots.
Yeah, initially it kind of starts out wave after wave of ants, doesn't it? And I mean, with 17, there's so many little funny bits because at the beginning you've got like some sort of Super Nintendo intro where you got like scrolling text, and I'm like, man, what am I playing? Streets of Rage?
It's like Zero Wing or something.
Axley. Yeah. And then you've got weird kind of 2D sprite power pickups.
Oh man, the power pickups are the best thing in the world. They're like straight out of Doom. Like you walk around them and they're like always looking at you.
They just scroll with you.
That.
And then you've got a team of guys with you, NPCs.
What about their outfits, man?
Yeah,
your guys' outfits, they're the gimpiest outfits in the world.
I mean, it's like the gay wing of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's like just out to bust up some insects. But I like it. What I like about it, in fact, is it's got that sort of. You miss an ant, and everything's some sort of rocket launcher, essentially. You miss it and it goes, and your bullet goes flying past him, hits a building,
the
comes
entire
down.
building.
Yeah.
So
It's also got a draw distance. It's got near infinite draw distance in 2017.
Which is really weird because Armageddon's draw distance is like 2 foot in front of you, and there's just buildings popping up out of everywhere.
So that's it. In the new one, Insect Armageddon, like your characters look a little bit better. The ants look a little bit better. I suppose the cities look
Everything
a
looks a bit
better.
more polished.
Yeah, but not that polished. Like
No.
it looks like compared to any other game, it looks bad.
Yeah,
Compared to Insect Armageddon, no, compared to 2017, it looks the business.
Yeah.
But power ups are now 3D things. They don't follow you around with their little loving eyes, and it's just soulless. It's soulless.
It's kind of like 2017's a B movie, and you laugh and you have a giggle.
Yeah, exactly. Because you enjoy it for being a B movie.
But then Insect Armageddon is like a modern B movie where it's kind of going, look at us, we're a B movie, and you're like, no, you're not. You're just shit.
Exactly. You're just trying to be a B movie.
You're just Battle for Los Angeles, aren't you?
That's it. Yeah. Nice try. It's I don't know.
So it's kind of removed all of the campness from the game and delivered, just like
It's that weird thing. It's like it's made stuff better. That's made it all worse.
Yeah,
definitely. That is a shame. It's a different studio.
It doesn't surprise me.
So 2017, as you can probably guess, it's a Japanese-made game.
Yeah.
Insect Armageddon was made in the US.
Right.
And they've gone, we can do that. And that's why bits do work. Like this has online multiplayer, which 2017 didn't have. And it has like a horde mode almost. A 6-player horde mode, which is pretty cool. And it's 3-player co-op throughout the whole thing. But
I mean,
it's
possible that it will shine in multiplayer, that you'd have a laugh.
Yeah, I think and you would enjoy it more.
Yeah.
But it's like little stuff like in 2017, I love it when you shoot the ants with an explosive, they kind of like go rigid and then just sort of like rebound off of everything.
Yeah, my combination that I use in 17 is the Buffalo shotgun, which has a range of a sniper fucking rifle. It's like a quarter of a mile or something you can take an ant out with, and a rocket launcher. But the best thing is if you're just walking into wave after wave of ants, like you go for your power-ups, just run straight in, and you just go nuts with a shotgun, and you just got dead ants in front of you. When you hit them with a shotgun, they just go flying and just spin and bounce off of walls.
So that's the other thing. In Insect Armageddon, they disappear almost immediately.
Yeah, they kind of vaporize, don't they?
Yeah, and it's like, you just missed the point of what was great about this game, Clearly, like the guys who made it must have liked the first one.
Yeah.
Or at least seen a copy. So I don't know. You can't get 2017 for love nor money. That's the other thing.
It is very difficult.
It's on Games on Demand.
It is,
which I might take the purchase for. But
I think it's pretty limited. I think it was pretty limited print.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was never going to be a million seller, was it? That's the thing.
I mean, it's the achievements alone are just like a big 2 fingers up to everyone.
Oh, really?
It's like finish the game on easy, finish the game on normal, finish the game on hard, finish the game on really hard, finish the game on fuck you, you're a cunt, and collect every weapon in the game. That's it. That's all of its achievements.
Really? Yeah, that's. And I bet you it's a case of you can be on medium, you still got to be on easy.
Possibly, it is quite possible.
What? Are you serious? That's.
I don't know if it'll just let you play through the entire thing on extreme difficulty and just get all of the achievements in one hit.
Bust out a load. I don't know. EDF. I'm going to play it some more. I'm not going to get rid of it because I think this is going to be another one of those games where you're not going to be able to find it for a while.
No, it's probably.
And
again,
it's budget as well. Neither of them were expensive when they came out.
That one started. I think Insect Armageddon is like 30 quid.
Yeah.
Retail, bang on your front door.
I mean, in 2017 on Games on Demand is only 15 quid, which isn't a bad price.
Which is pretty good. I mean, I was looking at Games on Demand yesterday because I've got a shed load of Microsoft points to spend, and Super Street Fighter 4 is like 30 quid.
Nice.
It's like, get them.
So actually, this is a good thing. I was looking at Games on Demand stuff because the 1,200 points that I had, which I was going to use for maybe Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. But you can buy Xbox Originals with points.
Yes, you can buy both with points.
Oh, can you? Because
you need to pay you go into buy,
right,
and then at the bottom you got options. You press X and it switches it to Microsoft points.
I didn't know that because I was like, oh man, well I could buy black, but I don't really want to buy black. But I can't. Otherwise, 12. I don't know what is 1,200 points. It's not 15.
It's tenner.
Oh, it's tenner, so it won't get me Insect Time.
It won't get you Insect Time again.
Dang. Well, I keep saying Insect Time again. 2017.
2017 even.
Do not confuse those listeners,
No.
dear listeners. If you're looking for an Earth Defense Force game, 2017 is the one you want. Insect Armageddon is the one you want to destroy. But that's fine. Yeah, we'll see how that progresses. All right. Well, look, that's our games.
Yeah.
That is our games.
I think so.
For this week, I think. It's got to be. Checking the notebook.
Yeah, I'm checking the notebook. It is, yeah. Scott Pilgrim was my last one. Yeah.
Oh, there's something I wanted to bring up, which I thought about after listening to the last episode. I think it's time for it's summer. Everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
Sun's out.
Yeah.
You know, early evenings. What am I talking about? Late evenings, summer sun, barbecues, drinking, shots. A little bit of a video game drinking game. I thought we'd come up with.
Right.
I'm going to try and come up with these on a regular basis, but for this week's drinking game, it's Captain America. It's Captain America.
It does require you to either purchase Captain America or rent it.
That's true. But it does also require you to, if you purchase Captain America, purchase a crap load of alcohol because you're going to need it. And I think, I'm going to say but I think we do as well. This will increase your enjoyment of the game. Every time Captain America picks up a stupid porcelain egg in the game.
Fuck it, all collectibles.
All right, all
there's a lot of collectibles.
You do a shot.
In about 10 minutes, you're going to be smashed out of your goddamn face.
In 20 minutes, dead.
And you'll probably actually enjoy Captain America significantly.
So I recommend that. The Captain America, every time Captain America picks something up, do a shot. Let us know if you can get through a level like that. In fact, send us a voice message. We'd love to hear your
drunken slurs.
Yeah. And we'll come up with maybe some more of these as we go along. There is one last thing before we go. First of all, we're clocking in a good hour and a half here.
That's not bad.
You know, that's
What was that, Cheryl? Yeah, it's long. Yeah,
it's
thanks.
It is because of you, Cheryl. It is. You know,
you've been quite chatty.
We couldn't have done it without you, to be fair. We wouldn't have even tried to do it without you. That's the main thing. That would be madness. But there is one last thing. Well, you've been tweeting through the week. We were on our Bastion trip, obviously. We love Bastion. And you've doing your, I don't know, what do you call them, doodles?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Magna doodles.
Your little doodles.
Magna doodly.
No, you've done an awesome piece of art of the kid.
Thank you.
From Bastion. No, well, it's just fact.
Right, okay.
No, it's good. It's a phenomenal piece of art. And it's in your style, isn't it? It's not like...
it's not cartoony. It is cartoony.
It's like
more
Bastion,
comic booky.
the college years.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like Joe was like, oh, he's not a kid. Well, he's not a kid in the goddamn game. He spends 10 years on the wall. He's not actually a kid.
It's true.
It's just in comparison to the stranger, he is a kid because the stranger's an old man.
So you've done this awesome piece of art, and you want to give it away?
Yes.
To one.
Well, there's only one piece
Lucky
of
listener.
art.
Well, yeah, exactly. So we've put together a little package, which is this awesome piece of art that you've had lovingly framed and set up. It does look pretty swish, actually. Well, you did put a picture. Did you put a picture up on your Twitter?
Yeah,
you did.
2. I did the original pencil plus the ink.
We'll put a picture up of the prize in the show notes as well for this episode. But that's not all.
No.
Not content with just giving away this awesome one of a kind Mako Zero picture.
No.
You're throwing in. As a generous, if you've got own money.
Out of my own
Your own money. This
pocket.
does not come out of any Things We Play account.
No, we don't have a Things We Play account.
No.
That would be very thin.
That's true. So out of your own money, you're throwing in 1,200 Microsoft points.
1,200. So if you do not have Bastion, you can. I'm not saying you have to. You might want to get, dare I say it, a COD expansion pack.
You do make me laugh, Sean.
But I would humbly suggest that you actually, if you do not own Bastion, purchase Bastion with those same points.
It does get the thumbs up. I think.
It's awesome.
All right, so we're going to give this away to one lucky winner. It's UK only. We're going to have to say, aren't we, because of the points?
I don't think they work anywhere else.
I think they are. I mean, if we get a US listener and they really want it, and I mean, it's the picture's the prize, really. The points are the bonus, so we can maybe work something out there. But really, we want you to be in the UK. And you
just for P&P costs.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because that ain't coming out of the Things We Play account, I can tell you that. So yeah, how are we doing this? How can I win this? Can I win this?
No, you can't.
Right, okay,
I'm pretty sure any competition expels any person directly involved in the production.
That's fair enough. So how are people going to get involved? We want them to contact us via Twitter, direct message
to @thingsweplay.
@thingsweplay, yeah.
And the question we came up with was, what is the stranger's name in Bastion?
So the stranger, the guy that narrates the entire game.
Yep.
Some guy drew a picture, gave it to me. Thought I'd give it away. What's my name?
Yeah. Obviously, I haven't played Bastion. That's what Wikipedia's for.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. Yeah, exactly.
Google it.
You can find this out
if
you want to find out, and if not, take a guess. It'll be hilarious to find out what he's doing. So drop us a direct message on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. @thingsweplay. Drop us a direct message with your answer, and we'll contact you back should you be the winner. And ask for your details or whatever.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we'll run this competition from as of this very second. Until
the next episode.
No, I'd say until Monday next week.
All right.
Which is, I don't know what date that is.
There are millions of things we could do with knowing. It's the 7th today.
Yeah.
So it'll be the 15th.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, so Monday the 15th of August.
Yes.
2011.
And then we'll announce the winner in the next podcast.
Yeah. And obviously we'll contact you for your details to get those out there.
Yeah.
It is a sweet prize. You can see it in the show notes, like I said. It looks awesome. It's very generous of Shaun to give it away. And yeah, it'll look good on someone's wall.
Yeah.
In their bathroom.
On the desk.
And then...
in a box, in a cupboard.
You know, whip out the picture, put a nice picture of your family in the frame. It'll be fine. And as Shaun said, there's a copy of Bastion there for you potentially, or maybe a COD map pack.
If you're so inclined.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll be turning in my grave.
Yeah, it's that would genuinely make you sick.
Probably.
So that's fine. All right, then on that note, that is Things We Play episode 7.
It is 7
in the bag. Cheryl, do you want to say something just before we go? Twice. But how did he get back out? I'm sure it'll be fine. I've been Mike Oldman. That's been Shaun Hart.
I have been Shaun Hart.
Yeah,
I still am.
Yep, there we go. Cheryl obviously will be back with us
next podcast.
Yeah. And we're gonna we'll find out how she's doing with that UFC training.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully she won't roundhouse kick us or something.
When she listens to this podcast specifically.
Yeah, that's maybe true. It's been fun. We will catch you in 2 weeks' time for more gaming joy. See you then.
Take it easy.
Bye.